We'll start from the beginning of binding off. It's easier to bind off when you start it on a knit row. So you want to look and make sure that you're on the knit side, which is the side with the V's. So the first stitch, you're going to knit like you normally would. Yarn around, bring it through, take it off. And the second stitch, you're going to knit like you normally do. Round and off, and then you're going to take the first stitch on the right hand needle that's already been knit. Okay, you're going to take the first stitch and you're going to stick your left hand needle in that first stitch and just bring it up and over the second stitch. So now you've bound off one stitch. Then you go back and you knit another stitch, so that you always want 2 stitches on your right hand needle, and you're going to take the farthest stitch and bring it up and over the stitch you just knit. Okay, and then you're going to go back, knit another stitch, always have 2 stitches on the right hand needle. You're going to bring the first stitch up over the stitch you just knit and just leapfrog it over. Go back, knit another stitch, 2 stitches over here, and you're going to bind one off by pulling one over the other. And you'll start to see this ridge form where there are no stitches, and there used to be. So that you just keep on going like that. You knit the stitch. Once you have 2 stitches over here, you bring the first one over the second one. And the looser you can knit the stitch, the better, because then your bind off isn't all crunched up. Just bring it, and it's also easier to get that second stitch up over that other stitch. So there you go, just one over the other. And then you can, oops, and that happens, which is another reason for making your stitches loose, because then you can come back here and you can find that stitch and you can pick it back up just like that. So there you go. And that's all there is to it. And you're going to bind off the whole row. When you get to the end of the row, oh, did I get it? There we go. I did. Okay, so when you get to the very last stitch, what you're going to do is you're going to cut the yarn and you're going to bring the yarn through that single stitch. We're just about there. And I'll show you how to do that. It doesn't mean it can't be taken out. It can be. And a bind off can be undone, but it's always better once it's done to leave it done. All right, so here we go. And here we are. Here's our last stitch from the left-hand needle, knitting it, bringing this stitch over, and there I have 1 stitch left. So I'm going to pull that way out like that, okay? And then take the scissors and cut the end. Needles down. And then I'm just going to bring this cut end right through here. It's probably just like crochet. And through that last stitch. And that's it. And then you're bound off.